Alright guys, welcome to part 2 of today's notes of 2.8. It's starting to get a little bit more tricky, so let's pay attention. Number 5, tough problem. First thing we need to do, scan for any subtraction signs. I see one, that becomes plus or positive. Let's rewrite this problem now. So I have 3 and 1/6 plus 20.3 plus 5 and 5/6. Now before you freak out that, hey, there's fractions and decimals here, here's what you should do. You should use the commutative property to put stuff closer together. So 3 and 1/6 plus, put this fraction that has the same denominator right next to it, 5 and 5/6 plus 20.3. Let's add this up right here. Same signs, add, keep, so don't really have to do much here. 3 plus 5 is 8. So we're adding that part first. 3 plus 5 is 8. 1 plus 5 is 6. We get 8 and 6/6, which is interesting because this alone is really 8 plus another whole, which gives me 9. So I get 9 plus 20.3. That's coming straight from here. And 9 plus 20.3 is just simply 29.3. That's your answer. Now, there's another way you could have done this. If you wanted to change 20.3 in your head, you're saying, hey, that equals 20 and 3/10. Your answer could also be 29 and 3/10, which is the same exact thing as 29.3. These are equivalent. Either answer would have worked there. Right? Number 6, let's go ahead and say, all right, we have a minus sign. We have a couple minus signs, so plus a positive here and plus a negative. Please remember that this is plus positive plus negative. So I got 16 over 20 plus 1.8 plus negative 4. Now there's going to be some tricks to this one. So this one, there's nothing right off the bat that seems that would be super helpful for us. So let's go ahead and try and make common denominators. So I have negative 4/5 here. So let's go ahead and multiply that by 4. Multiply by that by 4 because the common denominator will be 20. So when I do that, I get 16 over 20 plus, this is still 1.8. Plus, remember this is a negative sign, right? You gotta keep your negatives with you the entire way. Plus, what's this become? 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 4 is 20. Oh, and now something should be super clear to you guys. You got a 16 over 20, you got a negative 16 over 20. Let's use the commutative property to rewrite this. So 16 over 20 plus negative, right? Keep your negatives the entire time, 16 over 20 plus 1.8. And in doing so, hopefully you guys realize, hey, these are opposites. Because they are opposites, I get 0 plus 1.8. And 0 plus 1.8 should just give me 1.8 as my answer. So that whole complicated problem just simplified to that easy answer, 1.8. All right, on the back side, I'm going to ask that you and partners work together to try and solve some of these. I'm going to go ahead and tackle 2 of them with you right now. And then the rest of the time is you and partners trying to come up with ways to solve them. So let's go ahead, and I want to do a problem like number 3. Actually, I'm just going to do one of them. I'm going to do a problem like number 3, and you guys got 5 problems to work on. So problem like number 3. 1/5 plus 20.3 minus negative 5 and 3/5. So first of all, plus positive. So this becomes 1/5 plus 20.3 plus 5 and 3/5. Hopefully immediately you say, hey, I want to use commutative property and rewrite this. So 1/5, put that with 5 and 3/5 and plus 20.3. Hopefully you realize that the 5 and 3/5, well, I can add the 1/5 plus 3/5, right? So 1/5 and 3/5 should give me the 4/5. So I get 5 and 4/5 here. Because the whole number just stays by itself. 5 and 4/5 plus 20.3. This is where ST Math is going to help. So first of all, let's break apart this and say, hey, this is a 5 plus a 4/5 plus a 20. And let's break apart this. What does this really become? Well, 20 stays 20. What is the 0.3? The 0.3 is 3 over 10, 3/10, right? And now we can hopefully see that, hey, I got a 5 in the 20. So let's start writing that over here. I know this is going to take a lot of space. 5 plus 20 plus 4/5 plus 3/10. So this gives me 25. And yep, we're going to have to do some common denominators right here. So the 3/10 can stay the same. I'm going to multiply this guy by 2 to get this to become 10. So I have 25 plus 8 over 10 plus 3 over 10. Hopefully you're with me right now. All I did right here is try and find common denominators with this fraction. So 25 still stays the same, plus 8 plus 3 is 11 over 10. What's the problem with this? Well, that's an improper fraction. 10 goes into 11 one time with 1 left over. So 11 over 10 becomes 1 1/10. I add that to my 25. 25 plus 1 1/10, they are the same sign, so I should get 26 and 1/10. All right. Notice everything here was positive, so my answer should be positive. Shouldn't be any tricks to that. Before you get started on your own, let's go through and change any subtraction to adding the opposite. Here there is no subtraction. You're just going to want to break apart that mixed number, borrow from the whole. Same thing. Here, break apart that mixed number and borrow from the whole. Here we do have subtraction, so plus a positive and plus a negative. Remember this negative, it's going to be very important. Also, hopefully you notice that you might have to do something with your denominators. Here we have subtraction, you have plus a negative 3/4, so remember that negative. This stays negative 12 over 4 because that plus sign kind of locks it in. And then negative 24 plus a positive 1/2 and plus a negative 12.5. Hopefully this decimal you should immediately recognize as 12, negative 12 and 1/2. You should be able to work from there. All right, let's go ahead and get to working partners.